Hi everyone, I'm Leila and I want to share some of my thoughts and ideas about a book that I finished reading it very recently with you. So this book is called History for Tomorrow. It has been written by Roman Krznaric and it has been published in 2024. Um, the author is a philosopher and a political thinker, and he has numerous other books and articles and so on. So the core idea of this book um, has been summarized in a sentence by the author in the last paragraph of the book, and it's actually a very well-known idea. Humanity needs to look backwards in order to move forwards. Um, it's not something very new to most of us. Um, Many of us have heard that we should learn the lessons of history, not to repeat the mistakes of our ancestors and so on. But actually, when it comes to reality, it's a very hard concept. And sometimes we ask ourselves, okay, so who has written the history? Should we rely on every history that we read, or the history of like the kings or powerful people or so on? So we can say that it's a concept that we can find it even controversial and sometimes very hard. But I think that the author has been very successful in showing us the other maybe side of this idea and notion. So the book itself includes 10 chapters. And if I want to summarize all of them in just a few words, I can say that this book is the book of alternatives. So each chapter addresses one of the very big and wicked problems of our age. So wicked problems are those very complicated problems that even sometimes we feel that we cannot find a solution to them. For example, climate change, the problem of our consumption habits, the decline of democracy, and so on. So from the beginning, if I want to start, the very first chapter after the introduction is about fossil fuel addiction. And the second one is called nurturing tolerance. The third one is kicking the consumer habit. The fourth one is taming social media. The fifth one is securing water for all. Sixth, reviving faith in democracy. Seven, managing the genetic revolution. Eighth, bridging the inequality gap. Ninth, keeping the machines under control. And tenth, averting civilizational breakdown. And finally, the book ends with a conclusion which summarizes the ideas of the author, and also it presents, as I remember, seven, I think, solution to this and suggestion for these problems. So let me check, because my memory is not very much reliable. Oh, sorry, there are five. Yes. And in each chapter, the author presents and introduces some lessons from the history, but they are not the histories actually that we usually read in our school books. There are the stories and lessons from the histories made and lived by ordinary people. I can say one of the main and interesting things about this book is that it actually starts to show us that the ordinary people from different cultures, they have had their own solutions to huge and complicated problems. So I think that it also criticizes the dominance of national histories and the histories of powerful people and elites. So on the other hand, we can find, the histories and stories of those people that their names have been forgotten in the history, but they have their own impact and influence on all the things that we are doing today. The other thing that I should say is that this book can be a very good complementary to the other book that I strongly recommend, Wicked Problems for Archaeologists by John Scofield. The other book also has been published very recently, and it's a very important book in order to understand our situation in this world and to find a solution or solutions to the problems that we are facing today in this modern civilization. So one of the chapters of this book, which is called Kicking the Consumer Habit, is very much related to the things that we do in Garbonomics. In this chapter, the author introduces the consumption habits of people in 17th century Japan. He used to be very careful about dumping objects and things, and they usually used to give second and third lives to every object. And finally, if this object was burnable, they would burn it in their ovens. So they had very few things to dispose of. One of the very interesting things in this chapter is the citation to another research which has been conducted in 2021. I will put a link to this research in the caption. This research was about the ideas of people in different countries about their own consumption habits. So, quote, a survey of 10 high-income countries revealed that 3/4 of people believed more environmental regulations were important, but almost half felt there was no real need for them to change their personal habits, and only a fifth thought it necessary for people to fly less or reduce their meat consumption. End of quote. Page 65 and 66. I would like to say that based on the things that we are doing in Garbonomics and speaking with our customers and people that we meet on daily basis, this sentence is completely true. Many people don't feel that they should change their consumption habits. The very problem, I think, that is that many of them think if they change their consumption habits, it's only good for the environment, but actually it's also very influential on their own economy. If we consume less and we dump less, we can have more savings and we can improve our own daily lives. So it's one of the things that actually I would like to discuss here later. And the other thing is that in this book, the author highlights the importance of the collective actions. I think that improving our consumption habits can be also a collective action. It can be a movement. It can be a new idea to bridge up the inequality, to help the poor and the poor middle classes. So I would like to summarize all the things that I said about this book and say that this is the book of alternatives. It presents many alternatives from the history about the wicked problems of this modern civilization. And I strongly recommend it. Please share your ideas with us in the comments if you have read this book, or any other titles that actually discusses the very main problems that we encounter in this world.